Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7th anniversary celebration of the Joy of Giving Foundation. This foundation was started in the memory of late Joao Antonio Gonçalves and late Ana Julia Godino Gonçalves. It was established in 2016. The purpose of the foundation is to emphasize on family, education, and revival of agriculture. The foundation organizes activities based on these three areas, whereas there are programs by the foundation held for the parents, students, and teachers.
Today, the foundation will be giving 8 scholarships to students from various schools. These scholarships are in the name of late Ana Julia Godino Gonçalves. Besides, the Joy of Giving Foundation will be honoring 4 people this evening. Mr. Edwin Menezes, Dr. Celso Fernandez, Darius Fernandez and family, and Dr. Amrita Pratik Karangate. This award is in the name of late Joao Antonio Gonçalves. At the outset, we would like to invite the Secretary and Treasurer of the Joy of Giving Foundation, Ms. Immaculata Gonçalves and Mrs. Sandra Gonçalves, to the dais.
Our chief guest for this evening is the former Chief Secretary of Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Anthony Disa. We would now like to request the Chairman, Mr. Oscar Gonçalves, and the Vice Chairperson, Mr. Ashford Gonçalves, to escort the chief guest, Mr. Anthony Disa, to the dais. A big round of applause. Thank you. It is my pleasure today. I am Gaurav Parte, teacher Gaurav Parte, and of course my co-host, teacher.
I'm Velma Fernandez.
To be hosting this program for you today. And we would like to request the chairman of the Joy of Giving Foundation, Mr. Oscar Gonçalves, to welcome the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome each one of you for the 7th anniversary of our foundation. And indeed, I feel honored to welcome you in this weather. I didn't expect that you would make point to reach here. Thank you very much for that. Joy of Giving Foundation was established way back 7 years, but much before that. You know, we are 6 of us, 5 sisters and myself. We always had love story of our parents to share with each other. We met in New York. First time after a long time. One is in Portugal, 2 are in America, 1 in Germany, and 2 of us here in Goa. But we met in New York, and we were sharing that love story, each one telling what we remember of our father and mother. And at that time, we felt we have to do something to carry their legacy. My father worked for 40 years in the Portuguese bank, Banco Nacional Ultramarine, as a tesoureiro, cashier. And mind you, during Portuguese time, there was only one branch in whole South Goa in Margao. The other branch was in Vasco, third was in Penjim, and fourth was in Mapsa. So you can imagine my father had to handle the whole lot of people from Kanakana up to doubling. And that Vasco was entirely meant for the port trust and the mining. Panjim was the head office. And my father, as one of his close friends, Dr. Kuchatkar, when my father passed away, he came to me and said, "Your father was a gentleman, very honest, very dedicated to his job. I know him as a family man, and even at this age, I try to follow his values." And then he tells me, "It's not going to be easy for you, but you have to carry the values dear to him. He always cared for the family. He was a man of prayer, very close, and that's how you find the name Ave Maria, because he was very fond to Mother Mary. He dedicated our house as Ave Maria. Whoever comes in Majorda, you will see with the big words, Ave Maria, welcoming all of. So he was very dedicated. I mean, he loved Mother Mary. At home, we used to tease him that he had two women. One, Mother Mary, and second was my wife, my mother. And the beauty is, he had a habit. Every morning, he would pick up the flowers from the garden and put it at the feet of Mother Mary. Every morning before he left, and the garden was taken care by my mother. And my mother never complained about he destroying, in other words, the beautiful flowers from her garden. My mother was a teacher. During Portuguese time, she was teacher of the primary, Portuguese primary up to quarter class, fourth. And very interesting about her is, she, her children were the first learners. They were not getting any support from their parents. So in the morning, she would be in the school, and in the evening, the whole lot of students would come to our place. That was the second home. And in the evening, she would sit with them and help them to revise and to understand, because it was Portuguese. And later, when four of us became teachers, both of us were heads of institutions later, Immaculada and myself. And she always, wherever we worked, she always enjoyed attending Parents' Day. And not only that, most important, when the exams, SSC exams would start, she would start with the prayers so that the children perform well. And on the day of results, my mother would go for mass in the morning and then light a lamp and pray. And when we returned back, she would come rushing towards us to see our reaction, whether we were happy or we were not so happy. And if we had shown happiness, then she would say, very good. God has rewarded you of your services. If we were not happy, don't worry. You have worked. Don't worry. You have worked. Next time, God will help you. So this was the approach of my mother and father. And so this legacy of love, not only towards us, towards everybody. My father would go out of his way to help people who were, bedridden, where they used to get the money. He would go and deliver the money, checks and all that, do all those things for them, for the others. So we felt this legacy should be carried so that our children understand what it means to be ideal parents and ideal members of the society. And for that reason, we thought it is only through education the development growth can take place. So we emphasis on that, on family, on agriculture. My father was very fond of agriculture. I saw my father cultivating paddy fields. Though he was a cashier, banker, but he loved agriculture. And fortunately, I got that gene have passed on to me, has passed on to my sons. So all of us are still involved in agriculture, and we want to revive that. Because today, education has failed, and we are at fault. Because we have not given the dignity of labor. We have not taught the children the dignity of labor. The moment they are a little educated, they think going to the field, doing agricultural work is not their job. This is where we have failed. And we have to work towards in that direction. Second, I've been in the field of education now for 50 years. And being a headmaster, being a teacher, we never spoke to our students about UPSC exams. It's only later now that we came to know that very, very few students make an attempt and they succeed. I was surprised. From liberation till date, Goa has produced 1 or 2 IAS officers who studied in our schools and in our colleges. Not like this gentleman who was an IAS officer, the longest standing Chief Secretary of Madhya Pradesh. He was born outside Goa, studied outside, and rose and made us all proud that he being a Goan, succeeding and achieving outside. So we have to pass on this, because a lot of talent is there in the children. Someone has to ignite that talent. And so speak to the children about it. And another important aspect that we felt is we have to encourage everyone to improve in writing and reading. And that's how we started with the magazine. My son will explain a little more in detail. So once again, it is a pleasure to have you serve with us here. We are honored, and we would like to associate you to associate with us, because it's our dream that our children in Goa understand and attempt to be IAS officers or even IFS or anything, so that we could together go to the schools and encourage and talk to the children about it. So I welcome each one of you, especially the teachers who are representing each school. You made point to come here, the students. We understand that today being a very bad day, you made a point to come here. So I welcome all of you for this function. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Oscar Gonzalez. One song can change a moment, one idea can change a world, and one step can start a journey, but a prayer can change the impossible. Mr. Darius Fernandez and family, we have a live band in-house who are now going to sing the prayer song.
A beautiful prayer song by Darius Fernandez and his family, leading us into prayer. And right from the prayer, we move on to a very important part of this evening, the lighting of the lamp. They say that if you light a lamp for someone else, it will also brighten your own path. The Joy of Giving Foundation has been brightening the paths of little children. I now request the chief guest along with the trustees to light the lamp. And at this auspicious moment, as rightly named the Ave Maria Joy of Giving Foundation, we have the granddaughter of Sir Oscar Gonzalez, Elena Braganza, who will be singing the Ave Maria.
Ave Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Jesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, naten in hora mortis nostris. Ave Maria.
Thank you, respected dignitaries, and of course, Elena. She's just 11 years old, and Mr. Oscar Gonzalez likes to say that she is a future trustee of the Joy of Giving Foundation. Requesting Mr. Clinton Braganza to come up on the dais and introduce our chief guest for today.
Good evening, my dear friends. It gives me great honor to introduce Mr. Anthony Disa, a Goan who was born and brought up in Maharashtra, but he has made Goa and India proud of his achievements. Mr. Disa is married to the respectable Malusha Disa. He was selected to the Indian Administrative Service in 1980 and retired as one of the longest serving chief secretaries of the state of Madhya Pradesh. He did his schooling at St. Aloysius High School in Bhusawal, Maharashtra, and he studied at St. Xavier's College in Mumbai and was a gold medalist in history and political science in his MA from the Bombay University. Later, he completed his Masters of Public Administration from the Harvard University in the United States. During the course of his long and distinguished career in the IAS, he has served as a collector and commissioner And in the government of India, he was closely involved in the negotiations on climate change, biodiversity, and sustainable development. He was instrumental in drafting the country's first national design policy and also dealt with India's negotiations at the World Trade Organization. He was deputed to the United Nations for 5 years. After he retired, he served as the first chairman of the Real Estate Regulatory Authority of Madhya Pradesh. He was elected a fellow of the London-based Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors in recognition of his professional contribution to building up the environment. Mr. Disa is a writer of great passion. He writes fiction and poetry and has twice won the first place in the Times National Short Story Competition. He has 2 volumes of short stories, one of them set in Goa to his credit, which he wrote under the nom de plume of Tino Desa. He has also written a novel for young adults. With that, I would like you to kindly rise and join me in welcoming the respectable Anthony Disa.
Thank you, Mr. Clinton Braganza. We would now like to present a potted orchid plant to our honored chief guest, Mr. Anthony Disa. This will be presented by Gail Gonzalez.
Now requesting the Vice Chairperson of the Joy of Giving Foundation, Mr. Ashford Gonzalez, to give us a brief introduction about the foundation.
Good evening. Good deeds are the inheritance we can pass on to our children. With this belief, we established the Joy of Giving Foundation in 2016 with a focus on assisting and improving education in Goa through various programs. To begin with, student development programs, conducting personality development workshops, creating awareness about career options in the Indian administrative services, including foundation courses conducted by Abhyankar IAS Academy in Pune, assisting students in answering UPSC exams by raising awareness and providing support, providing scholarships to underprivileged and academically accomplished students, currently offering financial support to students pursuing in engineering and post-graduation in psychology, with the hope that they will pass on the benefits they receive. Teacher development programs, recognizing the importance of improving education standards. Workshops are conducted to provide teachers with the latest teaching techniques and skill enhancement programs. Parent development programs, conducting workshops to highlight the significance of women in today's society and emphasizing the importance of family bonds. Agriculture development programs. Addressing the unfortunate decline of agriculture by conducting workshops in schools to promote kitchen gardening, distributing seeds and manure for free during these workshops. Apart from this, recognizing contributions done by Goan and Indian personalities to society, acknowledging the selfless service rendered by citizens of India towards society. This in memory of my grandfather, who exemplified going the extra mile to help others. In addition to these activities, the foundation publishes a quarterly magazine called Education Challenge Goa. The magazine aims to highlight the foundation's objectives and invites teachers, parents, field experts, and students to share their views on education-related issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ashford Gonzalez. We now have the release of the magazine, Education Challenge Goa, the June edition, which focuses on environment. But just before we do that, we are giving a short gist of all the various issues that have been released in the last few years. The magazine has tried to showcase and elaborate upon a variety of themes, one each issue, with articles adhering to the theme from various angles that our authors try to portray. In our inaugural issue on Goa's sun, a world-renowned scientist, Dr. Raghunath Anand Mashelkar, was well received. Hence, we decided to feature this eminent personality because the circumstances he was in and the ordeals he has been through may not be known to many. The first issue is very significant because despite being brought up in poverty, Dr. Mashelkar's illiterate mother pushed him into achieving more in studies. She was his first inspiration. His second inspiration was his science teacher, Principal Bave, who ignited his passion for science and told him, "Focus and you can achieve anything." The story of Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar's life reflects the desire of, in his words, an unlettered mother who wanted to see her son educated and his teacher's belief in him.
Our second issue, April, May, June 2018, was dedicated to the late Dr. Mrs. Mrudula Sinha, Goa's ex-governor, a strong lady who had shown her capabilities in various spheres. The articles featured the different roles played by women in varied fields in our Indian society and the world over.
Reverend Father Basilio Andrade, an educationist in his own right, founder of many schools, a friend and savior to the needy, an iconic figure, highly respected in Goa, featured in the July, August, September 2018 issue. A dedicated, God-fearing individual, he had brought hope to many a family and worked tirelessly to bring development and progress to many parts of Goa. His perseverance in working for the betterment of society is well known, and he resides in the hearts of people whose lives he has touched.
There is a dire need of sincere, honest, and hard-working individuals for a progressive human society. Most of the civil services aspirants have a common dream to be able to work for the betterment of the Indian population. Keeping this in mind, we highlighted the platform that makes it possible, UPSC, encompassing the different venues and faculties in which Indians can serve their country. This was our October, November, December 2018 issue. One fruitful year gone by.
Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. This quote enhanced the cover of a Jan-Feb-March 2019 issue of Education Challenge, Goa. You must have guessed its theme, the Indian Defense Forces or the Armed Forces and the Paramilitary Forces. It was an honor for us to feature Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanetkar, the senior-most woman officer in the Indian Army. The heroic feats of other defense personnel in the armed forces were also a part of this issue.
The April, May, June 2019 issue arrived at a time when schools reopened to a new academic year, and the theme was Education in Goa, Post-Liberation and School Management. It was an honor for the team of Education Challenge Goa to include in the issue a touching write-up of the Honorable ex-Chief Minister of Goa, the late Mr. Manohar Parrikar.
Carving a niche for oneself is every youngster's dream, and keeping this in mind, we brought out our issue of July, August, September 2019 on careers. We were pleasantly surprised to receive articles regarding fields in careers beyond our imagination. It was highly appreciated by students, parents, and teachers alike.
Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was the talk of the nation, and we decided to take it up as the theme of the October, November, December 2019 issue. The Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, Dr. Pramod Sawant, penned a message of appreciation, expressing his pleasure on the choice of our theme, which according to him was the need of the day.
A new year dawned, and we were inspired into delving deep into the history, natural resources, tourism, and other aspects of Goa, the Pearl of the East. Education Challenge Goa went all out to portray the beauty, serenity, and peaceful surroundings of Amche Bangra Chengoe with its varied features. The January, Feb, and March 2020 issue got a resounding response from our readers.
Our April, May, June 2020 issue featured productive use of technology in education as its theme. Despite the constraints of the lockdown that year, many individuals enthusiastically contributed towards the issue, and we got to read a wide variety of experiences from our authors. The focus was on the online classes, but other methods also found their place in the issue.
Everyone was curious to know more about the new education policy, NEP 2020. So, we put in effort and tried to bring out a clear picture of what it entailed. The cover story of the July, August, September 2020 issue was portrayed so well, it was self-explanatory and left no doubt in the minds of our readers.
The year 2021 commenced with our issue of Jan, Feb, March dealing with an important theme, dignity of labor, making it very clear that no work is too small. Once again, we received a wealth of well-written articles based on innovative teaching strategies and careers, also with the intention of guiding the differently abled.
The April, May, June 2021 issue was full of beautifully expressed articles on the importance of women, especially homemakers, in our society. The focus was also on mothers and motherhood. This issue was also appreciated by our readers.
Then we realized that in our past issues, we had not made a mention of the importance of men in general. So the theme of July, August, September 2021 was Men, Pillars of Our Society. It featured the diverse roles of men as well as eminent personalities in our society.
We had introduced and elaborated upon the finer details of the theme NEP 2020 in our issue of July, August, September in the year 2020. We thought we should trace and follow what exactly was being done about its further progress, like whether the persons concerned were working out a blueprint so that it was ready for implementation after the initial announcement. The October, November, December 2021 issue put forth the theme NEP 2020. What next? Operationalization is the key.
Our team then felt the need for financial help for deserving students who were either underprivileged or had to give up their dreams of higher education for the need of extra financial help. We went all the way to guide students and parents so as to make their dreams a reality. And the theme of the Jan-Feb-March 2022 issue was scholarships. It had a wealth of information on a wide range of comprehensive details on a wide range of student loans and scholarships.
Based on the need of financial help during an individual student phase, we went one step further with an intention of making students financially independent by encouraging them to start investing at an early age. The theme of the April, May, June 2022 issue was financial literacy.
The July, August, September 2022 issue focused on the timeline in a human being's life and how one comes a full circle in one's lifespan. It also featured articles that highlighted the most spoken about words these days. Age is just a number. A comprehensive table of the Indira Gandhi National Open University explaining the basics of its academic programs on offer for the July 22 session was an important part of this issue.
The concluding issue of the year 2022 focused on the importance of sports in the life of individuals and how they could make their country proud and bring glory to the world by dedicating their life to a particular sport. The articles in the October, November, December 2022 issue brought a number of sport events to the attention of our readers.
The year 2023 saw Education Challenge Goa complete 5 years, and it was a proud moment for us. If the first issue of the year 2018 can be likened to the birth of a baby, the consecutive 5 years were like its milestones, and we have observed, relished, and proudly and fondly looked upon this fruitful journey. The theme, inclusive education and its possibilities in the future, met with a terrific response, and the articles were greatly appreciated by our readers. The feedback that many parents took encouragement from the various examples given in the issue and moved forward with their differently abled children in the right direction, and that was very heartening to read.
Our readers will find our April, May, June 2023 issue as interesting and a delight as all the previous ones. The theme, listen to Mother Earth's fervent pleas to mankind. Please save me, turned out to be something that is currently discussed, the gradual degradation of our planet. We look forward towards serving students, parents, and teachers by sharing information on varied issues so as to build an awareness in the general population. A big thank you to our loyal subscribers for making Education Challenge Goa a resounding success over the years. We would like to say with confidence that with your continued support, it will see more success in the coming years. We now have the release of the magazine, Education Challenge Goa, the June edition, which is based on environment. For this, I would like to call upon our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Anthony Desa, and the trustees.
सगळ्यांकडे मागता जोरान ताळयो मारच्यो. All these years, Goa did not have its own education magazine, and all the education magazines that were here in Goa, they were printed outside Goa and then sold here. So Goans didn't really have a proper chance to share their own talent, their own opinions, but thanks to Education Challenge Goa, it is now possible today. And of course, the theme for this year is environment.
Yes, and now that we have the release of the magazine, we move on to another important aspect of this evening, that is the presentation of awards to the toppers of the 8 schools. For this, I would like to invite the trustee, our trustee Soraya Gonzalez.
Our trustee Soraya Gonzalez.
So as we present the awards to the toppers of the 8 schools, we have something special in sense the teachers of these students will be introducing them. We would like to call Chiara Maria Dias. Yes, round of applause, please. Kindly note that we are not going in any order of rank, but we are going in alphabetical order. And so we have Chiara Maria Dias here. And we would like to invite her teacher, Gina Tellis, from St. Anthony's High School, Majorda, to speak about her.
Good evening, everyone. The top ranker of St. Anthony's High School, Majorda for the academic year 2022-23 is Ms. Chiara Maria Dias. Her percentage was 95.83%. She scored 99 marks in science and 100 marks in social studies. She's a well-disciplined and hard-working person. She is blessed with many talents. She represented our school for under-17 girls football and handball tournament. Her hobbies are singing, dancing, playing football. Her ambition is to become a doctor. I request everyone to put your hands together for Ms. Chiara Maria Dias.
Thank you, Teacher Gina.
Requesting Francisco Egipcio Saldana to please come to the stage. Thank you, Sir Oscar. He's always appreciative of the parents and he always wants them to share the stage with the student, which is quite a nice thing to do. And of course, the teachers who have worked so hard to make sure that the students shine bright. Thank you, Chiara, her family, and her teacher. Next up, we have Francisco Saldana. Francisco Saldana is here from Holy Spirit Institute, Margao, and teacher Judy Fernandez is to introduce him.
I've prepared a lengthy speech, so please bear up with me. Patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination of success. To be successful in life, one needs to set a goal and work towards it with determination. A pleasant evening to our chief guest of today's function, Mr. Anthony Disa, trustees of Ave Maria Joy of Giving Foundation, esteemed dignitaries, and my dear friends. I'm extremely pleased and honored to introduce to you the most talented, humble, and a sincere student who has not only made his alma mater proud, but also made his parents take pride in his achievement. Firstly, I thank the Almighty for his blessings upon all who contributed their might to the success story of our beloved student. In keeping with the mission and the vision of our school, We at Holy Spirit Institute aim to train children to learn intelligently and inculcate in them leadership and other qualities of cooperation and service. I would like to inform you that he was the head boy of our school and a passionate football player. Success comes when persistence and hard work are combined, and only perseverance and commitment can lead to success. We are blessed to have Reverend Father Amandio Valadares as our manager of the school and our dynamic headmistress, Mrs. Esmeralda Mendes E. Fernandez, whose commitment and hard work enable us to mold the future of our students in collaboration with the teachers and parents. I take this opportunity to thank the Ave Maria Joy of Giving Foundation for giving us the opportunity to celebrate the success of our beloved student who is hardworking and persevered along with his teachers and other students. Achievers are not born talented, but they possess the I can do attitude. This attitude was keenly observed in our student. He shouldered all the responsibilities with love, zeal, and passion. He was hardworking, disciplined, and possessed a keen interest for acquiring knowledge. He excelled in dramatics, artwork, music, etc. Being a passionate footballer, he was the member of the Goa Football Development Council, also a member of the Churchill Brothers Football Junior team, and brought laurels to the school through sports. He secured a passing percentage of 91.66% at the SSC examination held in April 2023 and stood first in school among the 135 students who appeared for the examination. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to stand and cheer the doer, the achiever, the one who recognizes that challenges are the stepping stones to success. Presenting to you Master Francisco Egipcio Saldana, the pride of Holy Spirit Institute, Marga. Thank you.
Thank you, Teacher Judy. And of course, the parents of the child, Francisco Saldana, to please come up near the stage so they can also be inside the photograph. A big round of applause, not only for the student, but also the parents and the teacher, of course.
We would now like to call upon Joel Prudencio Vaz from Our Lady of Lourdes High School, Utorda. And Sir Oscar Gonzalez will speak.
His
For
teacher
Joel.
could not reach because of this weather and requested me, she forwarded to me his details. So I would like to introduce to you Joel, a very hardworking student, a critical thinker, and someone who always had an ardent desire to learn something new. He had the courage to think different. In maths, he would try to solve the problem not just the conventional way, but in various different ways, which would make him content. He enjoyed learning science and would always be open to new knowledge. Always a keen and attentive student who not only took part in academics, but also extracurricular like sports such as hockey and art in the form of singing and playing the guitar. He was always an avid fiction reader. All in all, an ideal student, the pride of any teacher who had the chance to teach him. At present, he is pursuing his high studies in science at Father Agnel Higher Secondary School, and his desire is to master in computer science. Ladies and gentlemen, Master Joel.
Master Joel Prudencio Vaz, and we would like to ask his parents also to come forward for a photograph. And a huge round of applause for them, especially Joel Ben-Silvaz. We move on to our next topper, Nikita Nagaraj Naik from St. Andrews, Vasco. Yes, and put your hands together for Nikita. We have her teacher, Rael Rodriguez, who will speak about her.
A warm good evening to our chief guest of today, Mr. Anthony Dissa, the trustees of the Ave Maria Joy of Giving Foundation, our guests, parents, students, and all you present here. Success is not only about achievement, it is also an inspiration for others to aspire and scale greater heights. I'm here to introduce to you a very unassuming personality, very soft-spoken and talented. She is very hardworking, dedicated, and committed to her work. She likes to know the why of things and explore till she finds answers. Also very artistic and a good orator, she has participated in many inter-school activities and competitions. She never competed with others, but herself to raise her standard of performance. A beautiful creation of God, she was of the firm belief and would often say to me, "Teacher, success is all not that will define me in life, but my hard work and character is what will hold recognition in society," which I personally feel is a powerful message for us many. Presenting to you the topper of St. Andrews Institute, Vasco, who secured the first place in the institute among 120 students with a percentage of 91.17%, Miss Nikita Nagaraj Naik.
Requesting the parents to please come up to the stage. Nikita Nagaraj Naik, her teacher and as well as her parents from St. Andrews, Vasco. Thank you. Next up, we have Swizzle Fatima Fernandez from St. Thomas High School, Consaulim. Swizzle Fatima Fernandez from St. Thomas High School, Consaulim, and teacher Praveen Imran to introduce the student.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I feel very honored to stand before you and speak on behalf of our headmistress. A few words about one of our shining stars of St. Thomas High School, Consaulim, Miss Swizzle Fernandez. Successful people are not gifted. They just work hard and succeed on purpose. I have seen this girl always working hard and always dedicated to whatever she does, be it curricular or extra co-curricular activities. She has the leadership qualities. She's patient, dedicated, punctual, and the list goes on. Today, she has made her alma mater proud. Dear Swizzle, we are indeed proud of you. May God always bless you and your hard work. Thank you.
Requesting the parents to please come up to the stage. Swizzle Fatima Fernandez from St. Thomas High School, Consaulim, her teacher, and of course, parent. Oh. Thank you. Next up, we have Vaishali Sudesh Naik from Our Lady of Candelaria, Baina, and her teacher Nigar Sayed to introduce Vaishali Sudesh Naik.
A very warm and pleasant good evening to Honorable Chief Guest, Chairman of Joy Giving Foundation, and other dignitaries and all other guests present over here. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Ms. Vaishali Sudesh Naik, the recipient of a special award to the top ranker of Our Lady of Candelaria High School, Baina. Ms. Vaishali has studied in Our Lady of Candelaria High School for the last 11 years. Her personality portrays the qualities of discipline, humility, sincerity, and punctuality. She is an ardent worker who devoted her time to her studies. She scored 100 out of 100 in science, and overall she scored 91.66% and did extremely well at the recently held Goa board examination. In spite of having personal difficulties, Ms. Vaishali surpassed all the obstacles and achieved the first place amongst the students of our institution. She excelled not only in academics, but also showed great interest in sports. She also participated in the game of chess, and the team stood third at Taluka level among 25 participating institutions. At the social level, Ms. Vaishali has shown cordial relations towards her classmates. She has always lended a helping hand to the weaker students and focused about her career in naval architecture. At present, she is a student of St. Andrew's High Secondary School, Vasco, in the science stream. Presenting to you our student Vaishali, whom we are very proud of.
Requesting Vaishali's parents to also come to the stage. Vaishali Sudesh Naik, her parents, and of course her teacher.
And we now have Yasnia Fran Pereira from Our Lady of Perpetual Succor, Kortali, as our next student here. And her teacher, Valerie Vallis, will be speaking about her.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Work hard in silence and let success make the noise has been the motto of Miss Yasnia Fran Pereira, a student of Our Lady of Perpetual Succor High School, Kortalim. She has not only topped our school with 94.5%, but she has got a full score of 100 in science. A quiet yet observative student, she always worked hard to achieve her goals. Respect, compassion, helpful nature are few of her attributes. A talented artist and an avid reader. That's Miss Yasnia Fran Pereira for all of you, requesting you to kindly give her a loud applause.
I would also like to request her parents to come forward, the parents of Yasnia Fran Pereira. Yes, and keep those claps coming.
जोरान तारियो माझ्या सगळ्यांकडे मागता.
We now have Rishabh Nilesh Talwarkar from Sharda Mandir School, Miramar, as our next student here, and the principal of Sharda Mandir School, Miramar, Mrs. Charmila Umesh, will be speaking about him.
Good evening, respected dignitaries on the dais, It gives me great pleasure to introduce one of the awardees of today. At the ICSE Board Examination 2023, Sharda Mandir School's topper, Rishabh Talwadkar. Rishabh has brought honor to his school, his family, and himself by securing a whopping 98.67%. Even going so far as to come fourth in the entire country. That really deserves a huge round of applause. Rishabh has been a humble, disciplined, and obedient child who respects his teachers and elders. He's always been particular in completing work assigned to him on time and is extremely uncomfortable if a task is found pending. As a kid, he had great focus on his work. He has a curious mind, constantly seeking answers to questions. He has regularly participated in Olympiads and competitive tests. He is an ardent reader and is oblivious to the outside world when engrossed in a book, something that I relate to. Being part of a family where everyone loves music in all forms, Rishabh too enjoys singing, listening, and playing music whenever possible. He has also completed his Trinity 5th grade in keyboard. He has a good sense of humor and a constant smile on his face. In addition to Rishabh's exceptional academic excellence, he exhibits an exemplary character, polite, elegant, respectful, kind, and down to earth. A boy who took pride in his work and has an admirable trait to face every academic challenge with confidence. Congratulations, Rishabh. And as you move on towards your future, my words to you. Always dare to dream. For as long as there's a dream, there is hope. And as long as there is hope, there is joy in living. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to request the parents of Rishabh Talwadkar to kindly come forward.
In the school, when I have tensions, when I have problems, I look at him, and the moment he smiles, my tension disappears.
Yes, and put your hands together for Rishabh Nilesh Talwadkar. We now have yet another important aspect of this evening, the recognition and appreciation of other awardees. The Ave Maria Joy of Giving Foundation recognizes and appreciates people in various other fields, and this evening we are honoring 4 of them: Dr. Amrita Pradeep Karangate, Dr. Celso Fernandez,
Mr. Edwin Menezes, and Mr. Jose Dario Fernandez and his family.
I would like to request Soraya and Mikhail Gonzalez to come forward and introduce these 4 awardees. I would like to request Dr. Amrita Pradeep Karangate to kindly come forward. And keep that applause coming, ladies and gentlemen.
Dr. Amrita Pradeep Karangate is an assistant professor in biochemistry in the School of Chemical Science at Goa University. She completed her PhD in microbiology in fields of bioremediation and nanobioremediation. After gaining experience at the prestigious National Institute of Malaria Research as a research assistant and as an assistant professor at Carmel College, she joined Goa University in the School of Chemical Science in the subject of biochemistry. She has been involved in designing the curriculum for the biochemistry program based on the NEP 2020. She was deputed as a liaison officer for G20. Her first meeting was a meeting that focused on digital health. Her delegates were from Switzerland, from the organization Transformed Health. Her delegates, she was also deputed to 4 other G20 meetings, including one SCO meeting that was hosted by External Affairs Minister Dr. Jai Kishan. She has been a part of the Tourism Working Group meeting and the ministerial meeting that was held from 19th to the 22nd of June. And I'm told that she can't wait to get back to her teaching profession that she loves so passionately.
And that is Dr. Amrita Pradeep Karangate, ladies and gentlemen.
Husband and child. Husband. Her daughter there.
Thank you, Dr. Amrita. Next up, we would like to invite Mr. Edwin Menezes. Mr. Edwin Menezes to the stage.
Mr. Edwin Menezes, a graduate of Goa Polytechnic, GC and MS College of Law, and earned several laurels while a student. Founded Aircon Real Estate Developers along with his partner Cedric Vaz. Has completed over 22 projects including 8 commercial projects in Panjim City and Aircon Pinto Rio Grande, a large residential project of over 250 apartments in Kampal. Currently the Secretary of Club Tennis de Gaspar Diaz and the co-chairperson of the GGCI Housing and Real Estate Committee.
Requesting Mr. Edwin Menezes' family, if they are in the hall, to please come forward. I think his wife is here, if I'm not wrong. Big round of applause. Next up, we have Dr. Celso Fernandez. Dr. Celso Fernandez, requesting you to please come on the stage and Saraya to do the introductions.
Dr. Celso Fernandez is a highly esteemed individual recognized for his notable charitable endeavors and his efforts to promote financial literacy in Goa. Dr. Fernandes ran a successful dental practice in South Goa. However, in 2008, he underwent a significant career change after being inspired by the renowned book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. One of his most significant achievements has been mentoring and guiding numerous young individuals, including students from schools and colleges, to secure a financially independent future. The motto that drives Doctor to continue his selfless mission of serving the community is, "One man can make a difference." He established his own charitable organization called the Miramar Foundation. This foundation has provided funding for several infrastructure projects and government schools throughout Goa. Dr. Celso firmly believes that financial independence and charitable acts are interconnected. He believes in the saying, "Don't work for money. Instead, let's make money work for us." And rich is not how you have or how much you have. Rich is how much you give. Now let's welcome Dr. Celso Fernandes. Oh, sorry, there is one addition, sorry. Doctor launched his dream project, Living Happily with Diabetes, under the umbrella of the Nave Marg Foundation. Apologies.
Dr. Celso's family, if you are present here with us, if you could please come up to the stage. A big round of applause for Dr. Celso. Thank you, Dr. Celso Fernandes.
And now we would like to invite Mr. Jose Dario Fernandes and his family forward as we would like to honor them this evening. Mr. Jose Dario Fernandes and his family. And Mr. Mikhail will do the introductions.
God respects me when I work, but he loves me when I sing. Introducing the singing Fernandes family. Jeremiah, Martha, Solomon, Dario, Nicodemus, and Hannah are Majorda's church pride. They are truly an inspiration for today's youth and families, fulfilling the old saying, families that work together stay together. Solomon and Nicodemus are pursuing 12th science at Father Agnell's, while Jeremiah is in 9th standard and Hannah is in the 6th at St. Anthony's Majorda. Both parents are encouraging of their children to succeed academically and in the field of music.
Yes, and a huge round of applause for Mr. Jose Dario Fernandes and his family.
A wonderful family photo here. It is in fact even my dream perhaps one day to have a family that plays music, so someday perhaps I can teach my children and have a family band just like this one.
We would now like to invite our awardees to say a few words that I'm sure they would like to express their own joy in their own way. And so Dr. Amrita Pradeep Karangate, could you kindly come forward?
Yeah. A warm good evening to you all. It's been a real pleasure to be here. Respected dignitaries on the days, all those dear students who were felicitated today, and the attendees of today's evening, as well as all those who received the honor today. It's been really a humbling experience to be here today, and I can actually feel my hands shivering right now. But yes, it's been extremely wonderful, and it's been an extreme pleasure to be here today. I have met so many wonderful people, and most importantly, a lot of people who are interested in the field of education and who want to see a lot of progress being made in that field. I have always had my interaction with Oscar so being very limited, because I've never really had the chance to speak to him a lot. But I've heard a lot about him from my parents, especially my mother, because she's always been associated with Sandra auntie, considering they were colleagues. So I thank you all for, giving me this opportunity. As an educationist, I would like to say only a few things. First, I want to say thank you to my family for all the support that I have got in terms of whatever I have decided in my life till date. My mother, who went out of her way to find me the person to spend the rest of my life with, my husband, Pankaj, my go-to person whenever, I need someone to listen to me and guide me in the right direction. My daughter, Kimaya, who grounds me. And there's one person other than my parents, that my dad, he is not here today, he's at home. And one other person who has seen me grow from an 11-year-old with pigtails to what I am today, Sandra auntie. Thank you so much, because every time my interaction with you has been there, it's been always supportive, and you've always been encouraging. Thank you so much. Lastly, I would like to say my journey so far, there are only 3 things that I really and truly believe in. The first thing is that no matter what you decide in your life, whether to be into the field of academics or whether it's creativity, please see that you are extremely diligent and you're determined and you give your 100% to it. The second thing is that things will go wrong. You may have a master plan, but it may not work out. But the mantra is to get up and try again, and try again, and try again, until you find something that is bigger and better that resonates with your heart. And the third thing is be humble and be kind, no matter where you reach and what heights you achieve, because you rise by lifting others. So it's very important that you are humble and you help others no matter what the situation is. And believe me, when you're successful, you're in a far better position in order to help people. And the number of lives that you will touch, there's nothing, the joy that you get in that, it's absolutely immeasurable. So I leave you today with these words. I thank you for giving me the honor of being here, and most importantly, have a good evening, and thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amrita Pradeep Karangate. Could you kindly come forward? Thank you so much. Have a good evening and thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Amrita. Inviting Mr. Edwin Menezes up on stage to say a few words. Mr. Edwin Menezes. Okay, we would like to invite Dr. Celso to say a few words. A big round of applause for Dr. Celso.
Well, good evening, friends. Respected dignitaries on the dais, respected dignitaries in the audience, a very good evening once again. First and foremost, I must say I'm very much humbled and privileged to be receiving this prestigious award at the hands of Sir Oscar and Sir Anthony, because this is something unique, which is basically in recognition to the services which we are actually doing to the society. In fact, when I see such a galaxy of audience, I feel, I don't know whether I should speak on diabetes or whether I should speak on finance, because both are very sweet words. Everybody likes money as well as honey. So now, which one you would like me to just stress on? I'll just stress first about financial literacy. With Sir Oscar, I was very much fortunate to be addressing almost more than 400 school teachers on how to make money work for you rather than you working for money, or how to make money while sleeping. In fact, myself as a dentist, I was never taught in school, nor in college, nor after the curriculum, even in my professional life, on how to manage money. And let me tell you, now we have made, after training so many teachers, we have analyzed in last April when we saw the results at the Goa schools, at the examination in the higher secondary as well as the secondary. Let me tell you, when I see such felicitations being done for such students, let me tell you, even standing first in class, standing first in college, but if you don't learn how to manage money, still you'll be unsuccessful. But if you know how to manage money, you can be successful in any field. And let me tell you, in Goa, only because we don't teach our children about managing money, because of that, most of them are actually like failures. If you teach how to manage, just simple words, what is saving, what is investing, what is trading, what is insuring, these simple words, if you teach the children, let me tell you, they themselves will be much smarter, and it will not be like everybody wanting to go to UK, change their nationality, just because of money, migrate to other places. Goa has got much more potential. Goa is a heaven. But we Goans are leaving Goa and going only because of money and nothing else. That craze for money is actually giving us the thing of giving up our citizenship and saying that let's become Portuguese citizens, which is hurting me very badly. So because of that, that financial literacy is taken up on a very serious matter. And this year, we are going to concentrate on school children. And I will see to it that I will change the lives of minimum 1,000 school children now. Because college students, we already have more than 1,000 investing. But now it's going to be school children who are even in the primary school who will actually be getting support from their parents. And only if parents support them and teach them, then only they'll be successful. If they don't, then after they will catch hold of someone else and learn from the uncle or neighbor who is there, and then land up into bribes and all corruption. So that is one part. And now second part, I would like to announce about our diabetic movement. During COVID, I was very fortunate to be a part of the COVID, as a COVID warrior, and I've seen 98% of the deaths which happened in Goa were only for diabetic patients. Only those with diabetes actually got hold of COVID and passed away. The ones who were non-diabetic survived and could recover. And what was the reason is mainly because diabetic people are usually lazy people. They have no exercise, they only have unwanted meals, especially all the sugary food, all the things which are there. And because of lack of exercise, automatically the whole system starts affecting. And basically, diabetes is not caused by any virus. It is not caused by any contagion. It is basically a self-made disease. And let me tell you, it is the #1 killer disease in Goa today. Goa is called as the diabetic capital of India. And India is the diabetes capital of the world. And you won't imagine the number of diabetics that we have today. And we are taking care now of more than 900 in 24 locations. And we have seen that, yes, diabetes can be controlled very easily just through group therapy. In the sense, you come in a group, do your exercises together, follow a diet protocol, relieve your stress, and automatically diabetes comes under control. We have even converted cases like who are on insulin to tablets who are like taking 4-5 tablets per day, bringing it down to just 1 tablet a day. and only because of lifestyle changes. So our mission is basically to help people, because if you check any hospital, 95% of admissions are all diabetic patients, whether it is heart, kidneys, liver, your eyes, anything, it's all related to diabetes. And what causes diabetes is you yourself, are your lifestyle habits. It is not a virus. So if you don't go forward, and now especially the senior citizens, we have got many widows who have joined our groups. The widows find so much of solace coming together. There's no life at home. So when they come together and do yogas as well as exercise together, it has made a big difference to their lives. And we have seen, and we have got a lot of testimonials and results what we have achieved from this program. So if any of y'all feel that y'all want to start it in your village or you want to start in your location, we are there to fund it, because from Miramar Foundation, we have a budget of more than 1 crore per year towards the society. So this project is going on full swing, and I'm 100% sure that in this November 14, that is the World Diabetes Day, when we will celebrate our 3rd convention, we should be having nothing less than 2,000 members of diabetes living happily. So if we can have living happily with diabetes, automatically you can increase the lifespan of the person. And especially widows, senior citizens, as well as the ones who are like obese, they need the treatment more. So not to take much of your time, these are just 2 things which I'm focusing on. One is the financial literacy for the school children, and second thing is helping the diabetic people live better lives. Thank you. In fact, after this program, we have our books which are written on living happily with diabetes. All of you who want to read it, you can collect it. I'll keep it behind so you can take the copies of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Celso Fernandez. Quite a way to add some humor to a serious topic and make everybody happy. And of course, the wonderful insight that Dr. Celso has delivered here, I'm sure will resound in our ears for a long time. Thank you, Dr. Celso.
And now I would like to invite Mr. Jose Dario Fernandez and his family that we know as a singing family. I would like to invite them forward, especially Mr. Jose Dario, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. I'm very much grateful to Mr. Oscar Gonsalves and his family for giving me an opportunity to get my children here to perform the music here. They have a passion for music, they are cooperative, and they are doing very well in their academics. Also, I must thank Sir Avinash, who is currently teaching them, and may God shower his choicest blessings. And I must also, my wife, Martha Fernandez, who in my absence, I'm working on the ship, who in my absence is taking care of my children here, both music-wise as well as education-wise. Thank you very much for her. Thank you very much for you, for everyone, and God bless. Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, Mr. Jose Dario Fernandez, for your words, and God bless you and your family. We now have another very important aspect of this evening, that is the address by the chief guest. We've all been waiting to listen to your words of wisdom, sir. So the former Chief Secretary of Madhya Pradesh, Mr. Anthony Desa, will now address us.
Distinguished friends on the dais, Mr. Oscar Gonsalves, Mrs. Sandra Gonsalves, Ms. Immaculada Gonsalves, Ashford Gonsalves, and all other members of your family, trustees of the Ave Maria Joy of Giving Foundation, whom I met, including Clinton, who so kindly introduced me, distinguished members in the audience, the principal of Sharda Mandir Miramar, Ms. Sharmila Umesh, Ms. Aurea, principal of Sharda Mandir Old Goa, and former principal, Ms. Eunice Desa, all the teachers, students, and especially the award winners, the toppers in the schools, the 4 distinguished citizens, one of them, of course, the whole family, parents, friends. It's been both a pleasure and a privilege being here this evening, joining with all of you to celebrate so many significant achievements and events. 7 years of the Ave Maria Joy of Giving Trust. We've all heard of the Art of Living Foundation in Bangalore, where you've got to go, pay a substantial sum of money, and then you are given some ideas on how to live. But this joy of giving doesn't take any money from you, it gives to you. It gives to the citizens of Goa. And in so many things, I mean, today I was thinking, when this function was organized, and yesterday Oscar was telling me, you know, I don't know how the weather is going to be. And right enough, there was quite a lot of rain today. But then it struck me, the aims of this foundation are family, education, and the revival of agriculture. And so I think the heavens also wanted to join in congratulating everyone, and the way the heavens did it was to send an abundance of rain today. And so that is a sign of divine approval for the activities, and sending you divine congratulations for all the work the foundation has been doing for the last 7 years. And one of the lasting contributions that the Joy of Giving Foundation is doing is the magazine that they publish. You see, it's a niche magazine, 5 years, it's completed 5 years, Education Challenge Goa. It's not easy to publish a magazine like that. And in education, how is it going to sell? How is it going to go out? But the foundation has recognized the very special role that education plays in our society and the transformative role that it can play. You see, we are all used to thinking of education as teaching, giving to the student knowledge. Gyan Dan, Vidya Dan, Shiksha Dan, the Guru telling the Shishya his knowledge and wisdom. Extremely important part of education. But there is a bigger aspect, an interesting aspect to it. And if you look at the root, the Latin root of the term education, educere, and educere does not mean to give. Educere means to draw out, to bring forth. So really, education is not about just giving knowledge, it is about drawing out. In fact, it is more important to draw out from students. Now that really is a huge challenge for educators, for teachers, for everybody involved in education. How do you draw out from every individual? Not just these marvelous toppers whom we've seen today, who've topped classes of 150 people, but all the other 149 people also in their class and the 2,000 people in schools. How do you draw out? That is a big challenge for teachers, and a magazine like Education Challenge Goa tries to bridge that gap, to give teachers input so that they can constantly read, understand, think on how better to draw out from students. And what a wide variety of issues they deal with. we heard all that, and so I will not repeat. But things, as there's sports, there's careers, but there are things like time management, there are things like inclusiveness, diversity, environment, and they are not just, Oscar gave me a few back issues to go through, and I was marveling at the way they were done, because they have stories, they have poems, they have articles, historical nuggets, even recipes, and all this tries to ignite and animate, particularly teachers, on this great mission that they are all involved in. I particularly was, for example, impressed when I picked up the issue on inclusiveness and diversity, and the extremely moving stories about Vedansh and Drishti. I was moved, Pranav's story, and what struck me was how these people, challenged in various ways, hearing impaired, physically challenged, different things, and yet they achieved in life with the support of their families and the support of their teachers. And this is another aspect that I saw today which really impressed me, even when the toppers were being felicitated. And Oscar called out, teachers introduced them, then he said parents, family must also come here, because both these, to educate and to draw out the best in a child, families and teachers have to work in tandem. Families are the first teachers of their children, and then the children come to school and they idolize their teachers, and then they are spending so many hours there. And this jugalbandi that happens between families and teachers is what ultimately, contributing each to the other, is what brings out the best in our young people, and this is what we saw today. Something else that struck me a lot was that the 8 students who were felicitated, not only did they get academic scores in the 90s, all of them, but all of them were not just focused only on academics. Each one, somebody in sports, somebody in art, somebody in music, art and dance. So many interests they had, which is very heartening, because all this contributes to a rounded personality. And I congratulate also the schools from which they have come, that have allowed them to also focus on these extracurricular activities and not simply said, no, you've got to get this kind of percentage. The only one aspect that I want to also mention before I close my remarks to you today, because I don't want to delay very much longer, is asking teachers who are here to also expose their students to a career in the civil services. You see, I know the Joy of Giving, the Education Challenge Goa has even taken out an issue on it. But as Oscar pointed out in his initial address, there are very few people from Goa who are in the services, and they are not there because they are sitting and failing. Because we've already seen the quantity of talent and intelligence that we have in Goa. But they are not there because they are not sitting for the examination. I am sure if in larger numbers people sit for the civil services examination, whatever the services, because it's a single examination that allows you to get into the IAS, the IPS, the foreign service, the railway traffic, the customs, the income tax. Big choice. I know this is not the occasion or the time for me to explain to you this in detail, but I would strongly suggest that you do consider to at least convey to your students to consider a career in the civil services. I'd be happy on some other occasion to speak to you in greater detail about this, because Goa has had a tradition of great administrators. For the last 200 years, Goa was drawn upon for administrators being sent to Angola and Mozambique and Macau and everywhere else, Timor-Leste. Goan administrators being sent. So we have this tradition of good administration and that talent, but our young people perhaps don't consider a career. The career in the civil services can be extremely rewarding, both personally, professionally, as well as an opportunity to serve society, serve your state, and serve the country. With these few words, I will wind up, but not before I repeat my congratulations to the 8 toppers, their parents, their teachers, and to the other 4 award winners, 3 individuals, 1 family, and also your addresses. I mean, I enjoyed them so much. I enjoyed so much what you all said, and there is really so much to learn and exchange with each other. Thank you once again, Oscar, for inviting me. Both my wife and I have enjoyed being here with all of you. Thank you so much. Jai.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony Disa, IAS. It was my father who told me that there is an IAS officer in Goa who speaks really well and you must listen to him at least once. And the moment Sir Oscar told me that I had to host this and I looked at the chief guest, I was like, dreams really do come true. Thank you, Mr. Anthony Disa.
And I would now like to request Immaculata Gonzalez to present a memento to the chief guest, Mr. Anthony Desa, IAS.
Round of applause.
Now we'll have a fellowship.
The vote of So, yes, we are very eager to interact with each other and have the fellowship. But just before that, a vote of thanks to bring down the curtains on this wonderful evening. And for that, I would like to request Sanoshka Briganza, the daughter of the chairman, Oscar Gonzalez, who also works for the Discovery Channel, as Sir mentioned to me. So she will be giving us the vote of thanks.
Good evening. John F. Kennedy has said, and I quote, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." Ladies and gentlemen, and our dear young achievers, I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on the occasion of our 7th year celebrations of Joy of Giving Foundation. Let me first of all start by giving glory to Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. I thank all of you present here who made time to be with us. We are very grateful to our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Anthony Desa, former Chief Secretary of Madhya Pradesh, for accepting our invitation and sharing his time and wisdom with us. You are a role model for all of us, and these students whom we honored and the personalities that we recognized for their contribution to the society will surely cherish receiving recognition at your hands. Thank you so very much. We extend our hearty congratulations to our students, awardees, and their parents, and we wish them all the best, and may all your dreams come true. to Dr. Celso Fernandez, Mr. Edwin Menezes, Dr. Arpita Karangate, and Mr. Dario Fernandez and his family. May you all continue inspiring all of us with your good work. May God be with you always. Thank you. To heads of institutions, representatives of the schools whose children are awarded, thank you. The compeers who made this function meaningful, Mr. Gaurav Pate and Ms. Velma Fernandez, thank you very much. Mr. Daryl Andrade, you have always been with us. Thank you for capturing all memories of the past 7 years. We thank the staff of Shraddha Mandir School, Miramar, for all their support. There are many behind the scene who helped my father to organize this performance. Thank you. Once again, a big thank you to all of you who made this day memorable, and the words of Mother Teresa. It's not about how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam. And we come end of this beautiful evening, this wonderful occasion for this evening. And to conclude, yes, we do have a fellowship now. I would like to invite all of you to join in the fellowship as Mr. Jose de Rio and his entire family will be also entertaining us with one last song, Viva la España. Is that the one? Yes, so they will be entertaining us with Viva la España.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just a note, Viva la España will be end of this wonderful program. Thank you, everyone.